Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 15 of the Cosmic Consciousness Pod with John and Sam. And we are going to get started.
Yeah, we're back.
Happy January.
Almost February.
Almost February.
Talk about a break for the holidays.
Yes, we took a long extended break.
Kind of.
Did breath work, setting up other businesses. It's been a lot.
Yeah.
So we've been moving, shaking.
Yeah.
It's not just sitting stagnant, so it's been fun.
Talking about
breathing
things with people.
Yes.
I've definitely got some building and downtown interesting things to talk about.
Nice.
So yeah, things have been moving, but today,
yes,
we're getting back to our people, our thing, and so I thought we'd talk about values. All right. Living in alignment with our values, how you even find out what they are. And if you find that you're out of alignment, how to come back. I have that kind of personal experience of getting a little bit out of alignment with my values and coming back around. But I like what you said about childhood. So why don't we start with that?
Yeah. So I was reading the other day about, or listening to a pod, I think, it was just talking about childhood and like when we're very young in the infant stages, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like, you know exactly what your heart is set out to do, what makes you, just enjoy life, have fun, what you're drawn to, basically. Like, we're drawn as kids to the things that we like. And we remember when we come to Earth, like as a child, before the analytical mind develops, we know exactly what is guiding us and where to go.
Yeah.
And then we lose sight of that very quickly from like 6 to 8 on up when we start getting put in school, kindergarten, being around other kids, parents' directives, friend groups, other things kind of can draw you or pull you away from that alignment or that feeling. And then you kind of, just get through school. It's either, go to college and do that thing, or, some people just jump right into the workforce, and then you're just like working the 9 to 5 and you're completely detached from what it was your heart was guiding you to as a kid.
Yeah, exactly. I think, so I know you were talking a little bit about your childhood and what you saw for yourself. So how aligned do you think you have come to
so
be?
it's been like, so as a childhood for me, like there was times I wanted to be a veterinarian, and then I would go, I talked to the vet to be an intern. He told me I would have to put be in the room when the animals were getting put to sleep. And I was like, well, I can't do that. Like, I didn't want to be a part of that. So that was but from 4 or 5 years old, I started playing sports. I started playing baseball. Was very good at baseball, so I was like, that was the first dreams on be a pro baseball player. Man, my brother is 9 years older than me. That was his dream as well, and he was like already 9 years ahead of me, so I got to watch him, and I had a perfect coach and mentor, so it's kind of built in like, oh, this is the path. I'm going to be a pro ball player like my brother. And then I got to middle school and got introduced to soccer. Well, then soccer like overtook baseball for me. I like just gave up on baseball. I was like, I'm not playing baseball anymore. Soccer's my thing. I'm going to go be a soccer star and go be a pro soccer player. And that was the goal since 6th grade. And I did nothing else but have a soccer ball attached to me from 6th grade on. Like that had a direction. I could have had a chance to go play for a club like in Europe and Amsterdam out of high school. My mom did not want me to go. And I really had no plan B. So I felt trapped in school. I didn't like being in the classroom and confined. So then I go from being confined in a classroom, thinking I'm going to be a pro athlete, being outside all the time, to going straight into the workforce because I had literally no plan B.
Right.
Did not want to go to college because, again, I did not like school. My brain's just not built for being in a confined like classroom setting, especially learning stuff that I have no interest in.
Yeah.
Like, I had no interest in learning. Like, the stuff they taught in school, like, half the stuff's not even in the books anymore. My school don't even have the same name anymore because of like all the stuff that's happened in the world. So it's like, man, when I had no plan B, I was like, well, I gotta adjust. Well, what would be at that point? I was like, well, what I want to do? I was like, well, I gotta get on my own. I need to get out of my parents. I don't need to get out of my parents' house. I could still be living at home with my mom and my dad if they, if I really wanted, they would have me. So it's not like, but I wanted that. Like, there was a big pride in like being self-sufficient, like on my own. So I bought my first house. At 18 years old, I ended up answering an ad in a newspaper that said $50,000 a year, like base salary, so $1,000 a week. I was like, man, that's gonna be more than all my friends that are going to college now or right out of high school. So it was an ad my mom gave me out of the newspaper. It was a telemarketing job. I had to start at $6.10 an hour. So like the ad was for $1,000 a week base salary, but I like you had to start off as a telemarketer at $6.10 an hour, and it was the craziest place I ever worked. But that's one of the places that taught me about feeding my mind with positive stuff, having a roadmap. My first ever mentor that I met, Dave Elliott, taught me that. He's like, man, most of everything in your life is negative. Everything you watch, everything you see on TV, like your friend group, most people are just talking negatives all the time. So you got to have something at least 30 minutes to an hour a day that you're feeding into your mind that's going to be positive, that's going to give you a roadmap to be successful, so that when times get tough, adversity happens, things pop up, you get distractions, you've got this set of motivational stuff in your mind that you can draw from and pull back out. And he taught me like what you put into your mind is going to come back out. So if you have nothing but negative going in, you're going to have nothing but negative showing up in your life all the time. So that was like the first big thing. And then, then I've kind of had an awakening, if you want to call it that, like the awakening where you just feel like, man. So I went from that sales job to end up getting mortgages, and then I was in a cubicle doing mortgages, and then I was like, again, felt trapped again. I was like, man, and this is when 2008 happened, so the crash started to happen in the mortgage industry, and then I shifted a couple different places, was still in a cubicle, but I started to hear these loan officers that were able to like be retail loan officers instead of what's called a consumer direct loan officer. So instead of being inside, I could go outside. I was like, wait a minute, I can go do what? They're like, you have no schedule, you don't have to be anywhere, nobody's monitoring your stuff, and you get to be like a business owner in a sense. You run your own business, you start your own day. It's it's 100% commission, so I don't eat unless I go talk to a realtor and get them to like trust me. So, but that gave me freedom. So that got me like kind of brought me back to this place like, oh, yes, there is other avenues. Like if you are feeling off or misaligned, like if you just look in the right areas, you can find your way back to that freedom. That I think that's what, at the end of the day, that's what we're all after, is that freedom, that feeling of free, like to be able to do what you want, when you want, how you want, with whoever you want, as many times as you want.
Right.
And a lot of times it takes like a lot of money to do that. One. But also it takes like the ability to create some type of job or environment that's conducive to that, where if you're stuck in a 9-to-5 that you absolutely hate, most mornings you're probably waking up dreading going to work. You probably like have this same built-in set of patterns and loops that are just like every single day, because that's how, like, another thing when I started to awake is I learned the brain and the nervous system, how it's like always talking. Like the nervous system is the bridge to our subconscious mind. We're only conscious of about 5% of our actual day.
Right.
The other 95% is the subconscious programming that's running, that was all installed at that same childhood from 6 to 8 years old, that most people think about like this. Like every year the new cell phone comes out and people run to go get the new cell phone. Why? Because it has a little bit better of a camera and maybe a little bit better of a processor, and the battery lasts a little bit longer.
Right.
For the first month or two, right? So everybody runs out and gets this thing. But like we've all have like a processor that's been installed in us since childhood or birth, and gradually like molded and told us to be somebody or something that a lot of times was not aligned with who we actually really are inside.
Right.
It's like you're programmed to like go to school, get the job, or go to college and do this, and it's like a lot of people feel off with that because that's not who they truly are. That's not what they're truly passionate about or what they truly want to be doing in their life. Right. So I think the ones you see out in public or on the internet, and you can't really judge the internet because like everybody's putting their best shit on the internet. Like their best. Every best scenario, everything. So that's why, like, again, if you're waking up first thing in the morning and get into the scroll, your subconscious is automatically comparing everything it's seeing to what you're currently going on in your own life. Right. And it's going to bring you down. Right. Like, you think you're getting more connected because you're seeing all this stuff, but it's actually disconnecting you further from what you really are and who you're supposed to be. Yes. Yeah, I think that's a really good point of first thing in the morning, not creating the comparison. I started to notice that actually. And I know we kind of talked about bringing out these papers that I got from a psychologist at the Mayo Clinic. So incredible psychologist, runs this program that she calls the Relief Program.
So shout out to her.
Nice.
She didn't want to, she said she would love to put me in the program because I'd enjoy the
Right.
information, but it required labeling my brain in a way that wasn't accurate. So
Nice.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
She didn't want the payment. She
Yeah.
wanted to truly help. So she gave me some worksheets about values and to figure out which ones are off and what my values are.
Right.
This process of values started for me at 30.
Okay.
30
Wow.
to figure out what they truly were and name them.
Like how you value yourself.
What my values are for my life. So
Okay.
one of my main values is inclusivity.
Okay.
I was working at the Christian church.
Mm-hmm.
Directly out of, just to be honest, like
Right.
it's directly out of sync with my value.
Right.
And so every day felt extra difficult, extra heavy because I had to push past living with something that I didn't believe was okay.
Right.
So the church I was at had said, and I'm very okay with saying who they are and all of that.
We don't have to.
Okay. Basically, they, just like lots of churches, their tagline is about everyone,
Right.
is welcome. And being on staff there, that wasn't what I saw. And
Right.
so I'm living with this cognitive dissonance going on of like, well, my value is inclusivity, but
Right.
I also valued my friendships and my
Yeah.
communities and my people. And so when I'm meeting with this therapist and saying something doesn't feel right,
Yeah.
and we figured out, well, what's the most important thing? And to me, it's not excluding anyone. And
Right.
my close friends were being shunned from this church.
Right.
And, now I am, and I kind of am
Right.
with that. But
Right.
it was against my values, and I didn't know.
Got it.
I thought, okay, I value community.
Right.
So,
Church is supposed to be a special place.
yeah, and
Right.
I've got community, right? I've got all the people, but
Yeah.
only the people that would see in that one way.
Right.
And they didn't see the same things that I saw.
Yeah.
And so I really wasn't in community.
Yeah.
And so when I went through this with with the psychologist and she gave me some of these things, she mentioned how we really install this early
Mm-hmm.
and we don't reevaluate.
Check on it.
Yeah. And so,
We've never been taught.
no.
I mean, I was never taught.
No, we're told
Like,
what our values
Yeah, it's
are.
like, hey, do this and do this. And you grow up and you work hard and hustle
Yeah.
and all this. And there was a long time where I had the hustle culture down so good.
Me too.
Like I could just get up and hustle and like then I'm like, man, it just started like then I had great years where I made like the most money I've ever made, but like I still felt off.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you see the super rich people and they're like miserable and unhappy. It's because like they're not aligned with their true values and what makes them really tick as a person.
Yes.
So I started to figure out like just sit with myself. That's where meditation comes in and just quiet. And like a lot of people think quieting the mind is like a weakness, but like quieting the mind is actually a command. It's very hard to like maneuver. When you can quiet your mind and your body, it'll start talking back to you. You'll start feeling things and it's like, okay. And then when I don't know, the more I sat with myself and the more I asked like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Who am I really? Like all this stuff, like it started to navigate me like, okay. And then just more things started to drop in my field.
Yeah.
Or in alignment or synchronicity started to come. And then, you start asking like, let me find my real people like that, the community that I really want to be around that really like uplifts me, motivates me, like has similar type goals, but are always encouraging.
Yeah.
Not for like their own self, like greed or whatever, but like truly happy to see you succeed and will do anything to help like maneuver that. So I'm like, I know you can find it, but it takes a lot of work.
It does. That does take a lot of work and knowing, it's a difficult balance, right? Because we've gone from the hustle culture.
Yeah.
For you and for men, it was a big thing in finance. For women, we had a lot with the MLM pyramid scheme industry. Be a boss babe and like constantly working.
And TikTok shop.
Same thing, just transformed.
Yeah.
But it was that thing of like, you're on vacation and you're working. You're at your kid's game and you're working. It's like, oh, isn't it great? You can work everywhere. Yeah. So we've gone from like that to now. Sometimes there's this like lack of seeing the opportunity and taking it. Right. So like where I'm trying to get with that is we're trying to find this balance, I think, in society. as a whole between the rest culture
Right.
and that we do need to like have that drive, that get up and go. What is the word in Ayurveda? Oh, don't count me on this one. I know this word.
The vehicle?
No, there's a word for what gives you your drive, but it can also be like aggressive. Oh, that's gonna drive me crazy. No, it's gonna come to me. I just know it. Kyle, keep listening.
Yeah, exactly. Channel Kyle.
It's gonna come to me. But like we need a bit of that healthy drive, right? So it's finding the balance between are you pillared in the self.
Yeah.
Like are you really going towards the thing that you want, or are you hustling for nothing?
Yeah.
Right? Because there's like the hustle culture for the man, or for that 9 to 5, the thing that doesn't get you to where you want to go.
Right.
Or there's the 8,000 takes of your video you've taken.
Right.
You know, that's a hustle.
Right.
But it's like a hustle that's aligned with your values because you value the thing you're trying to do. And so it's like finding that and putting your energy into that kind of, that's a hustle that fills you back up.
For sure.
You know?
Even just get into a place where you have like, you're in more of a creative mode than a consuming mode.
The flow state.
Yeah, like get into the flow state. And that's like part of why I started the company called Mind Flow Mastery, because I want to master like being in flow state. Like you see people, you see like professional, really good athletes get in flow state. You see magicians get in flow state, dancers get in flow state. I watch Harry Mack. This like he's an improvised like freestyle rapper.
It's a real flow state.
Like he gets an incredible flow state where he's tapped into other dimensions or something. Like it's wild. But that's why like I don't know if most people I think are just trapped in these reactive loops.
Yeah.
They just like react to the same shit every single day, same hour. It's like you can almost what was I watching? It was like if you imagine like this circle with like all these different like lanes, it's got like your probability patterns, like the law of probability, right? So like most people from 6 to 9, 10 o'clock at night, there's a high probability it's gonna be very similar to what it was last night, and the night before, and the night before, and then the same thing. Waking up in the morning, your probability of the same morning routine is very high, because those neural pathways are just like the more they are used and the more they're activated, the tougher they get, and the tougher they bond together. Yeah. So if you want to really start breaking stuff, you got to like change your law of probability. Like what are the probable outcomes in today? And that's where like getting creative, having some clear goals, trying to align with your heart, not your head. And that's the other thing too that like really opened me up, is like, man, if you're in here, it's gonna wear you out because it's hard to tame. And that's why I always say like exhaust the body so you can learn to tame the mind. And that's why I like moving, and that's why I'm up very early working out every single day, because I want to exhaust my body, so it's easier for me to tap in and realize when a negative pattern's popping up. I can immediately shut it down. Yeah. When a reactive loop's coming in or negative thoughts coming in, I have to reframe very quickly. I've got very good mind control. Like my mental foundation is probably my strongest suit as a human. Yeah. But I've spent like decades working on my mental foundation, because I understand that's what will like wreck my day. And then also like it allows me to be in tune with how I'm feeling. Like I think most people are disconnected from the feeling in their body, like how they, like how something genuinely, truly makes them feel internally. And everything that's attracted into your life on a daily basis is a direct reflection of how you feel on the inside. Right. So it's like if you're feeling like, you may have these thoughts and write down these abundant goals and like be thinking about abundance, but then you feel lack. Yeah. You feel separation. Yeah. You feel not worthy, without you really knowing that you'd feel it, because it's programmed in the subconscious mind. So that's why it's so hard to like balance this stuff out. And you feel like, oh, I have these good thoughts from, throughout the day, and these thoughts are going to, be the awesome thing that's going to change me. Or I see people do a lot of affirmations and the I am and this and that. But like, man, you can say I am, the rich and all that stuff and all that crap. But if you feel less than, if you feel not rich, like you're never going to be rich. You know what I mean? If you say, oh, I'm healthy, but you feel like shit, like genuinely feel like there's a war going on inside you. Hey. Like, you know what I mean? But like that feeling is what's going to produce more outcomes and what's going to draw more stuff back to you. The moment I changed in 2020 and because I read, books and I watched this seminar and I watched this documentary, I literally just took the law of probability around my health and I sat with myself and said, why do I think all these things? And I went back to my childhood and what I heard from my mom mainly, because my dad was gone 6 months at a time. So it was my mom just instilling, like, if you go outside when it's cold, you can catch a cold. You go outside the way here, you're going to catch a cold. You get around somebody that's sick, you're going to get sick. And all these things, like, I heard as a kid were programmed without even thinking. Just like we breathe, our lungs, like everything pumps blood. Like, all this stuff is working in our body autonomously. Like, if we really had to think about every breath we had to take, having our heart pump like we would lose our, like, that's why there's certain things that are just happen automatically, but the subconscious does the same thing. So when you start to learn it and I could reprogram it, and I just went back to those childhood beliefs, unwire those thoughts and beliefs, reprogram them to what I read in these books and saw in these seminars, that people can genuinely heal themselves of any sickness, any illness, any cancer, anything. By just like tapping into the source that we're all connected to, the unified energy field, quantum field, source, God, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, whatever you think it is. Like, we're all connected to something. And that's where these thoughts and feelings go. But like, the thoughts you send out are the electric signals, and the feelings that you feel internally are what's magnetizing your experience in life on a daily basis.
Right. It's like your orbit or your gravitational pull.
It's your gravitational pull and everything. So you see like people at the same job, like there's like a song, like a rap song that says like, we live in the same building but we got different views.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's like,
ooh, I like that.
It's like, man, yeah, you could work at the same job, but somebody's having a much different experience at that job than you're having, based on how they feel versus how you feel. And what they're attracting into their life versus what you're attracting in your life. And you're like, man, that person's got it so easy. Everything just comes to them naturally, and like they're just gifted, or they just get lucky and all this stuff. It's like, man,
I hear that a lot.
They just feel something differently internally than what you feel. And maybe you should just go, instead of talking shit about the person and saying they just like get lucky and all this stuff, maybe you should just ask them, how do you feel, man? Or how do you feel, chick? Like, what's going on inside you?
How do you feel, chick?
Like, what's going on inside you? Like, and I do, man, when I see people in the gym that are like, I can tell their vibe is like on 11 or 15. I'll just go and I'll just, hey, I don't know you, but I just want to let you know your energy is amazing. And a lot of times I'll just like walk away. They'll say thank you or something. And they're like, oh man, I've never heard that before. Why do you say that? I'm like, man, I can just feel like it's 5 a.m. and you're just in here jamming. You got your music going. Like, I can just tell you're on a vibe and you feel good. And then like a lot of times we'll just share like just quick conversations on how they feel and like why they feel so good. What do they do? And it's like, man, once you just rewire some things and understand like you can feel things in your body. Now I feel like every food that I eat, I pay attention to what it does to me afterwards. And if that food like makes my stomach go gnarly or makes me feel really tired and lethargic, like that's when I stopped eating bread. So I realized every time I ate like a Subway or a Chick-fil-A, anything that had like a bun or bread, sleep, and I would like have this like cough, like almost like I was trying to cough up something.
Oh, you must be intolerant to it.
I was like, oh, it's probably the plastics that are in the bread and my body's trying to reject it and let me know that it's like, hey, you start just researching like ingredients and like the things that they find in these breads, and it's very accessible.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't believe everything I see on the internet, but there's enough science and scientific papers like from legit like clinics and hospitals and things that show like there's been a lot of metals or a lot of plastics and all this stuff and bread mainly and like all the other crap they put in there. Like bread should have like 2 ingredients, I think, bread and like wheat or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like there's so many other things in there. It's like, okay, I gotta stop eating bread. So I've like completely shut bread out of my diet. Chick-fil-A I haven't had, and I love Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A does hurt my stomach too.
I love Chick-fil-A, but man, that would put me in a coma.
Yeah.
Like when I came home, and then you do some research, and it's like, oh, there's 40 plus ingredients in their chicken sandwich. I'm like, why is there 40 something? Like, oh, it's chemicals to like make it taste very good.
Yeah. To
make your brain say you want to come back and eat it more. And it's like, oh, and then they give you some scarcity by closing on Sunday because that's the Lord's Day. But that makes people just want it even more because they can't have it on that day. So it's like it's a whole like almost genius marketing, but also like injected with genius chemicals to like get into your nervous system.
And
like,
oh, this
this tastes so good. It's so good for me. It's chicken.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh man, I had something so good. My brain is on zero, I swear. It was about mindset and the views, the building and the views.
Yeah.
So today I had just a really neat interaction about a beautiful Victorian building downtown.
Right.
And I thought, wow, wouldn't that make a beautiful yoga studio, counseling, wellness
Right.
space like we've discussed. Yeah. And I mentioned it to one of my sweet, sweet, wonderful friends who I love her dearly. You have indeed met her, but she definitely has a different view of things than me.
Right.
So I'm very much like, dreams are attainable and can happen. And do I believe I can own this $700,000 building? Yep. Do I believe that I could buy the studio like I want to? Yeah. I believe I can make a way for that to happen. Yeah. But anytime I speak it, there's this that what we've talked about, that resistance of, oh girl, downtown Jacksonville is awful. It's
just like conditions that have been built in to people.
And she was like, they've been saying it's going to change for years. It'll never change. And I was like, well, there is somebody who just bought. No, it's never going to change. And I was like, this is the thing.
I mean, there's a Four Seasons going up on the river. There's a Hard Rock Hotel going
It's literally
downtown.
changing.
Like, there's a new sports bar like on Forsyth Street. It's
the
like
aquarium.
Awesome. Like, it's literally changing. And there's parks now. Like, there was no plan initially when they tore the landing down. There's like 3 pretty sweet parks downtown.
Beautiful parks.
A brand new marina's going up. Like, I mean, I got a buddy that's refurbished a lot of downtown.
And that's what I was saying. I'm like, well, I know this actual fact. I'm like, this man I sat with the man.
Right.
And I'm thinking, what if I was like, man, you're right. This building is owned by my client.
Right.
Private client.
What people aren't going to see is, I read something like that the other day too, is like people can only love to the condition where they have like internalized the love for themselves, or like or to the amount of healing that they've done on their own self.
Yeah.
They can only like see into like, it was like a beautiful quote. It's on my phone, but or use my phone. But it's like, man, it's one of those things. It's like nobody's ever going to have your same vision or same drive or same goals or want to, but like that's where the community comes in.
Yes.
It's much easier to handle things, especially tough things. Much easier to handle with somebody like a partner in your life, or like a spouse, or like some really close friends. Like Tom Brady talked about that too, and he's like one of the best of all time. He's like, when I was going through something very difficult, somebody passing or just something difficult in life, it's always easier to have somebody else on your side to like support you through it and be with it, like that genuinely aligns with your values and everything else, and not just there to like happy to see it happening to you. That's why I also don't share a lot of things like that are not good or just things that happen, because I learned a long time ago, most people are either happy that it happened for you or that it's happening to you, or B, they just don't give a shit, really. Right. And they're just going to go talk shit about it behind your back anyway. So it's like, you don't need to share anything negative, with anybody that's not in your like tight inner circle.
Yes.
In your inner circle should be probably 5 or less.
Yeah.
For the,
Well, you are. I really love that saying that you become your closest 5 friends. And all of my close 5 friends are successful and are aligned with their, there's their dharma.
In your life as soon as that happens, like, boom,
it's lovely.
opportunity, boom, boom, this happens, boom, like, hey, let's, and then it happens, and it's like, things just happen.
Yeah.
So
there's pain in the falling away. I think that people will look at you and say, oh man, I want to be all happy all the time and blah, blah, blah. But it's that reminder of like, it took a long time. It's consistency. It's a practice. And there's an in-between. Yeah, I think I'm in the in-between.
And nobody's seen like the hours and hours and hours I've sat by myself.
Right.
And lonely. Like in pure loneliness, feeling like... It's like one of those weird things when you start to wake up and everything. It's just like people talk about this, like you feel alone even though you're connected to so much. Like you have these guides and you have angels and like I gotta drive, like all this stuff. Like I'm connected to all things, but as you're sitting through it and like figuring your own self out, it feels so lonely because it's like you're by yourself doing the work.
Yeah.
And like if you're fortunate, like I have a very supportive wife, but like she's on her own journey too. And it's like you can't ask somebody to go through the exact journey you're going through because it's your journey.
Right.
And then they're on their own same, like, you're compatible and you're married and all this other stuff, but like we're on different timelines almost. It's like yes, we're in the same present moment, but like our souls could be different ages. There could be different traumas that
Yeah.
she's internalizing still that I'm not, or vice versa. So it's like you have to do the own shadow work, the own. So like, there's a lot of times where like, if I'm not at an office working, I'm usually at home by myself, either reading a book, listening to a podcast, meditating, doing some type of, like Jim Rohn said it best, and I used to listen to his self discipline tape all the time. But he's like, if you work harder on yourself than any job, you'll always have like more money than you need, more health than you need. You have to work hard on yourself than any job.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
like
so true.
most people just don't find the time, because they have the time. They just don't make the time or find the time to work on themselves.
Yes.
And those are the people that are waking up, immediately going to the Facebook and Instagram and scrolling. Like, I immediately get up, feed my cats, do my push-ups. I'm out the door, heading to the gym. I pop on Instagram just to put my story saying, hey, beautiful people, I'm walking to the gym. This is your like motivation to get going. Because I've had so many people come up to me, and I thought, you think nobody's watching, and then you just see, like, I was at a realtor event the other day. There was like, I don't know, hundreds of people there that I haven't seen in a long time. Probably since a year ago, this same exact time, that same event.
Yeah.
Like, man, your videos every morning motivate me. I'm like, you watch this? Because I don't like pay attention to the analytics to go back in and see who viewed it or whatever. And
best to not.
I throw it out. Like I said, I like to get in there and create the content and exit.
Yep.
I don't like to stay in there because it takes so much of your time, and the subconscious mind picks up on every little thing. And whether you believe it or not, or feel it or not, it's comparing what it's seeing on all these different scrolls. Like, it doesn't miss anything.
Yeah.
And the nervous system doesn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Like, it sees and feels and holds on to everything. That book over there, The Body Keeps the Score.
Good one.
Tough book to read.
Solid book, yeah.
But it's like, damn, every emotion, every feeling, every excitement, joy, passion, disconnect, anger, frustration, whatever, sadness, like, it's all stored until you can learn to like feel your emotions, process them, release them.
Yep.
And then you'll heal.
Yep.
But that's another thing. Like, people just don't take time to heal. You know,
right.
It's like, well,
that's the in between.
Sleep.
That's the in between, the healing. Because I think, and I guess this is a good place to kind of wrap up, is I feel like I'm in the in between, right? The part where I know I'm doing the healing, I'm in the healing. Shadow work is like my bread and butter, I suppose. But there's those moments. I had one today, actually, and there's a kind of a crash out in a text, which is kind of a funny, it's a funny display of this happening. So there's a trip to Italy I'm going on.
Yeah.
Dream trip, can't wait. And there was a deal on a flight, and I can't book the flight today.
Right.
I know that soon it's not a problem. And I know it in my soul of souls. I don't feel that the lack is here anymore. But there was that moment of frustration of like, I'm so over it. And I'm like, okay, I know it's coming, but like I'm over it. And I've always joked I'm not built for poverty, and I'm not. I know I'm meant to be free, financially free. I know I'm meant for wealth.
It's a mindset at the end of the day too.
Yeah.
Like, so there's a difference between being broke and being poor. Like, broke is temporary. Poor is a state of mind.
That's so good. So I guess that's exactly it.
You know
I was feeling
like,
broke.
Is okay, and like people are broke, and they're also broken at times, but it's temporary. Like, everything is temporary. Like, even when you have an abundance of money, it could be temporary.
Oh, I've had an abundance many times.
Like,
you have?
So many people have had millions and they lost it all. Like, you take somebody that has no money, they win a Powerball, and then a year later they're flat broke, worse than they were before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, until you understand money, that it's also an energy just like everything else, which is what I'm learning, and you just connect. But again, it's that feeling, and like, how are you truly feeling inside all day? Are you feeling rich? Are you feeling abundant? Are you really feeling it? Or is there still some slight like feeling of lack, or I'm not worthy, or there's I'm separate from it, and it's not here yet?
That's that comparison.
Yeah,
you know, like, so eliminate a little bit of that.
That's where I had to get past, was the lack feeling, because that's probably the worst feeling that I've ever felt, is like a lack or being separate from something. But then when you really understand, like, man, everything is all connected, so we're really not separate. We may not have it in our possession at the moment, But the more you can internalize the feeling as if you did have it already,
Right.
and start acting as that person would and feeling as if that person would, now you became that person in your mind. You're feeling as if you already became that person. Now you can't feel lack anymore because you're not separate from it. You
Yeah.
became it.
Right.
So like the more you can internalize that feeling of becoming what it is you want and feel like you have it already, become what would that person think like? What would that person do like? What would that person's actions be today?
Yes.
What would they read? Would they be doing? Would they be eating this food over here, or would they probably go over this direction? Would they sleep in and hit the snooze button 10 times, or would they get up and just go exercise?
Right.
And you start moving a little bit differently, and then that feeling of separation, of lack goes away because you just became the thing that you want the most.
Yep.
And that's what like all the greats talk about, Dr. Joe Dispenza mainly, like if you can put yourself into that person that you want to see, like you see yourself being in 6 months or a year or 5 years, and consistently every day you're writing down, a year from today I'll have my dream life, like everything that I'm dreaming of I will have in my possession a year from now, and you just start acting and feeling as if it's already there. Then that feeling of lack and separation goes away. And then you start, you may have a moment here and then, but then you're able to catch that pattern, because that is basically just wanting you to bring you back to the person you were, that you already are right now. That's the hardest thing that is to dissociate or separate from, is like who you are in this present moment today, that's hardwired in to like becoming somebody new, because you're stepping into an unknown that your body's unfamiliar with, your mind is unfamiliar with, and your mind's always going to try to draw you back to that safety and that predictable future that your high probability of like the evening's going to be the same, the morning's going to be the same. You've built this routine, you built this pattern, it's high probability. Your brain knows that's what's going to happen, so it's safe. It's got that feeling, it's all conditioned. And that's how the brain, that's like we're built, the brain is built for survival, where the heart is built for like a magnetic, like abundant feeling.
To thrive.
Yeah, so
we're
it's like,
meant to live.
Yeah, so it's like, man, the more you can get out of here and into here and just like start showing love for everybody and everything, which is very not happening. There's turn the news on, look at social media. There's so much separation and division, and it's like on purpose. I think people are wanting it to be that way because when everybody comes together, like when 9/11 happened, people felt more love for everybody because we all came together as one, and that collective like feeling of everybody uplifting everybody. That's not what the the high ups want, because like that's when people heal, that's when people connect, and then we become one, and then like our force of one love is like much greater than the separation, division, this and that, all this other crap that goes on. So
well, I think it's important to remember the healing takes time, the rewiring takes time, the programming takes time, but each little step is closer. So I mean, even if it's one step that you focus on.
I would say when it starts to feel uncomfortable, you're on the right track.
Not
because
picking up the phone.
Yeah, your body's like getting separate from the old you. But that's the easiest thing that it wants to do, is bring you back to being the person you were. That it knows how to be and keeps you safe and predictable. That's when you got to start moving out of that and like have that genuine goal, have the genuine like, okay, this is the house I want, this is the car I want, this is the amount of money I'd like to see in my account, this is the weight I'd like to be at, this is how I want my body to look, and really start. That's all I've ever done my whole life, is we visualize stuff. I'll go see
Daydream.
it. Yeah, and then like the house, I mean, we're in now on the water. Like we rode by it on the boat. I was like, that house is sweet. Let me see if it's for sale. Pull up, do some research. It's for sale. Holy cow. Like start just doing it, map it out, the cars, everything I've ever like attained. I saw it here first, felt what it would feel like. That feels pretty good. And then I just started acting as that person. And then it shows up. Boom.
It always does. That's the thing. Wait it out. It will.
And it's going to show up in ways that you can't even think of. That's the hard part too. It's like you want to predict how it's going to happen, like how you're going to make it happen. That's where most people are just trapped, because that's what we've been taught. We got to hustle and make things happen. Well, the universe works in so many mysterious, synchronized, like crazy ways that there's so many unfathomable ways that things could just drop into your field. But like if you're super aligned, super synchronized, and super like feeling it, things will just start to happen. People will start showing up, opportunities will fall out of the sky, synchronicity, like all this stuff starts to happen. But if you're trying to force it and you're trying to force one or two, like, oh, it has to be from this, it has to be from this, then you're just like beating your head against the wall all the time.
Right, because you're closing off the path that it's likely going to come. Because we
Closing
can't
off-
conceptualize where it's going to come from.
You're closing off so many avenues,
Yeah.
so many like possibilities.
Right.
There's endless amounts of possibilities. Like, think of all the ways people make money in the world right now.
I know.
Like, there's so many.
Just having feet.
Having feet and a phone and a website to post
And
them. You know what I mean?
the will to do so.
I've seen people selling bath water, gas soap. Like, I mean, there's, you name it, you could probably make money doing it.
Yep.
But it's the people that like take the risk, that put themselves out in that uncomfortable. Like, who's the first person that thought, like, I'm gonna put my feet on the internet and try to sell them? They probably got laughed at, ridiculed by all their friends and family. But it's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And they just did it anyway. Now they're.
It's an industry, man.
Now it's an industry. So it's like, man, there's so many ways, but you got to feel through it and don't get stuck and don't get trapped by forcing like one or two different avenues. That's it.
Yeah.
Or listening to the people say, you have to do it this way. It has to be done this way. There's so many ways.
Yeah.
So many.
That one path is kind of packed,
Yeah.
What if we maybe take alternate routes and like start encouraging that? The world might be a little different.
Yeah. I'm saying, if you invite it in and you're attracting it by how you feel, there's so many ways that it could come to you.
Exactly.
That you can attract it in, that you don't have to try to force your way in.
Yeah.
I think we'll leave it at that.
That's that.
Episode 15 wrapped. We'll be back next week with another one.
That's right.
We're back on it. We love you guys. Have a good day. Stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Peace.
Ooh.